Ooh, better, we're gonna do the mic test. Mic test, testing the mic. Let's see, if I have it this direction, does it work? Sounds okay, levels seem okay. Ooh, yeah. Alright, I think things seem to be working. Things seem to be working. So let me switch over to live chat over here. All right. I think it's good. Let's transition on in and see how it goes. Is it working? All right. Let's put a little control on our Brio here. Boom, booyaka chow. It seems to be working. We got 9 up. I mean, I'm dropping as low as 2 kbps, but hopefully it'll be working today. I think, honestly, what I need to do is run a long-ass cable across the room, maybe up the ceiling or something, and hardline this computer. Part of the problems we were having yesterday was definitely Wi-Fi signal, and there was a Windows update, which has been resolved and updated. All right, I have chat. I have stream. We are here. Let's switch to the proper headset. Damn, y'all, it is hot as hell today. I can't believe it once again. It's another hot day in San Francisco. It is very warm downtown. Of course, Soma, the district I live in, South Market, has historically been a pretty hot neighborhood with a very warm microclimate. But it's particularly warm these days. Also, howdy folks, and welcome back to another paint stream here at Country Fried Minis. We're right here in the Bullshit Corner 2.0, getting a little bit more work on this charger done today. I know I'm really far behind and stuff, but we're gonna get there and get caught up and start putting out some content once again. I'd like to, as this last semester at SFSU wraps up, really kind of get in the groove and get in the grind and start getting on a schedule to get some stuff out more regularly. I think I owe it to the folks who support the channel, and I know I've mentioned it before, but we're going to get to it. In any case, let's go ahead and get started today. I got my tripod, I got my lights, I got the filming implements. Let's get a rolling and get going on this charger. We're going to start out by hydrating our wet palette here. I think maybe like, that much. I don't know how much we need. That seems okay. Let's just watch our sponge get thick and moist. Hope y'all are doing well out there today. It's been a nice, fun afternoon, actually. I just got off the tail end of a stream with Sod9. We were, he hit me up in Discord this morning. It was like, hey, my tasks are on cooldown. Let's do a thing and chase your task. It was really fun. Felt like I had an escort through all the shenanigans in Escape from Tarkov. Really fun game. Definitely not for everybody, but you know, anybody out there, you enjoy that game and you're a member of the CFM community, shoot me a message over on Discord. Don't ever be shy. Another Nate says, new movie, Sylvester Stallone plays a druid. His big line is, I don't own the lawn, I am the lawn. And he, like, does he, like, polymorph then into, like, a patch of grass? I'm running low on paper towels, so I'm going to start shredding them today. Okay, I think my nails are all right. I actually, I didn't shower today. I'm gross. And my nails are kind of reflecting that. It's remarkable how dirty they get so quickly. I hope they're okay for filming. I think they are. I think they are. I don't really care all that much in my everyday life, honestly. If I'm like hanging out with friends and have slightly dirty nails, it's whatever. But if you're filming your fingies in 4K detail, you should probably think about meticulously cleaning your nails. It's actually a big tip I could give folks who are out there wanting to film mini painting. Fastidiously clean your fingernails and fingers, or wear gloves while you work. Looks really good. Millennial Model Mayhem comes in and says, "Hello, I am also painting mech 4K fingies." Yes, I mean, to the naked eye, it may not look like there's much of an issue there, but then you get it on screen and you get that little patch of gunk in the corner shows up. In fact, I'm going to give them a good scrape before we get rolling. Hey, this ain't gross, it's just frank discussions about bodily functions. Oh, got to go eat now, apparently. Be back later. Enjoy your meal. Sounds awesome. I have leftover za for later myself. I was going to eat a bit before the stream, but in typical Country Fried Meanies fashion, I wait till like I'm done streaming and I eat, and then eat way too much late at night. And that's how I keep my round figure. Okay, so I know that's a lot of waffling, but let's get back into it. If I recall correctly, we had gotten through our orange highlights. I can't remember if it was 2 or 3 layers on it, but they're looking pretty good. I'm satisfied with them. There's some contrast, there's some subtleties to the contrast here that's kind of lost on the camera here, unfortunately. I think it'll show up a little better in the footage for the video. But I think what we're going to do to get started here, we're going to go around one more time with the yellow and just kind of clean up some of the spots that are a little thin. Like, I've got some spots right here that look like they could have better coverage, maybe here on the shield and on this little bit. Just a few spots of like kind of poor coverage, and I want to clean those up, and we can get rolling into some brighter yellow highlight tones. And if I recall correctly from last time, we had some troubles with this brackish, grayish wash pot. So I'm also going to set up a little rinse cup that's not full of color. I should have some little shot cups, shot glasses around here. Maybe I can get these apart. I'm testing ways to do the camo pattern for Aiden's Sister Lovin' Pride's mech from Legendary Pack. I wonder if is there any indication in the fiction as to what his mech would look like, other than there's like why can't I words? There's a great big jade falcon painted on his mech in, I think it's the last book in the trilogy. I can't remember. I have the books, but it would take a little too much time to dig through, I believe. And yes, y'all read that right. Sibcos, that is groups of cadets, test tube babies in the clans. They bang each other. They do indeed. Of course, the clans have a different outlook on getting down. A slightly different outlook. This is not too far removed from how most people approach it, but it's definitely not ever with the thought of procreation. Just Battletech Legends book as far as I know. I don't read his Sib Love story. Oh, I recommend the trilogy. You can get them really cheap, actually. It was the Legend of the Jade Phoenix. And I think he did end up fathering a child with, fuck, I can't remember her name. One of his Sibcos, who didn't make it as a warrior. She ran into him while he was on the run, and chose to conceive his child. So Aiden Pride's daughter was a dangerous endeavor because the genetics are pretty close. It's funny how that happens. All right, I realize I don't have a trash bag. I don't have a trash bag set up here in my little waste bin. So let me, Perry. Yes, it was Perry. Thank you. I'm gonna hit the BRB for a second, and I'll BRB. I need to load a bag in my waste bin because I'm trying to throw away these little bits of napkin, and I got nowhere to put them. So I will BRB. Give me, I don't know, 30 to 65 seconds. Hop back into it. Back to the Paintstream. All right, yeah, that's much better. I got this little. I bought this here little thingamabob. Very, very nice. Very handy for all your little bits of trash while you're hobbying. And it sits right up against the wall, which is awesome. Paint. Yes, howdy, Mr. Tyler Stembridge. Hope you're doing well. Long time no see. All right, so where was I? Oh, yes, I was talking about my rinse cup is really gnarly. I still haven't cleaned this thing out proper. It's like, it's sludgy mess. So basically that's good for the initial rinse, and then we've got the clean water to keep dark colors out of our yellow. Okie day, so let's actually get to work. And in true Country Fried Minis fashion, we're about 15 minutes in before we're actually getting any work done, but that is just tradition at this point. I'm still existing with a smiley face. Well, I'm glad. Should come through and play some Zomboid sometime soon. See what we've been up to over there. All right, so let's get started with a little shake for our intense yellow. Give it a good blend. And again, we'll do about, I don't know, 4 to 1. Do about 4 drops worth of paint right there. And then I've got a dropper. And we're going to put a drop of water in it. We're also going to put a drop of fluid retarder in it. Really important. It's important in that we're going to be working with this paint for a while. So we want it to Oni Lab, Higgle Biggle Bop. Dude, so that song, the Higgle Biggle Bop, I think I'm going to use it. Although it clips right at the end, which is a little disappointing. I just need to put a fade out on it or something. Honestly, it might be a little too long for an intro segment. I think I'm just going to experiment with it, see what we can do. You know, and speaking of, I've been thinking a bit about the intro segment for the videos. I know that, like, audience retention is kind of rough if your intro segment is more than, like, 3 seconds long. But I don't know, I'm kind of feeling like the Country Fried Minis productions are taking a long time to come out. Like, videos are maybe once a month if y'all are lucky. So to do them more like a proper episode, may be the way, like a TV episode. With all the community submissions and stuff, and the occasional ad that I run for game stores and whatnot, they kind of feel like a TV episode. It's kind of what I'm going for. I like the intros too. I do indeed. I definitely see it in the retention. Like, people click away immediately. A lot of people actually click away when they see that the video starts with me talking, and I get that, because if ever I'm watching like an instructional video and the guy's like waffling on about what he's doing before he does it, yeah, I tend to click away. Anyhow, let's actually get to work. This brush is real stiff. I test it with my tongue first, of course. You gotta lick it before you stick it in the paint. Yeah, look at all that color coming off it still. You'd think one of these days I'd clean my equipment after a stream, but instead it kind of just sits here and gets crusty. So I can talk about how I let it get crusty on every episode, every stream. All right, that should do. Let's find that little piece of paper towel I was just using. I'm going to pull it right back out the waste bin. And soak up that there. Soak up that there acetone. Right on top of the waste basket. Okay. I think that'll do, Pig. And we can actually get to working. This should be thin enough to go with. Ooh, that man is revving his motor. Okie day. So let's try to condense this angle some, I think. Let's pull in on the charger. Try to give y'all as much detail as possible on it. I'm going to set this to a full screen projector preview so I can see what I'm doing on the screen. In the song I said a brush lick or two. Yo, yeah, the song is fabulous. Y'all caught that new potential song for Country Fried Minis on the what was it, the last workflow stream? I'm thinking of running another workflow tomorrow as well. I was trying to get on the stream every day type schedule, and I would have streamed yesterday, but it just wasn't in the cards. Today's Tuesday, right? Have I lost a day somewhere? No, today is fucking Wednesday. I did lose a day. I was gonna stream Monday and it botched, and then I was gonna stream yesterday, but I was still just like, I didn't feel like it. That's what happens when you don't have a set schedule on campus. Since I'm taking an independent study course, it's very self-driven, and me being the lazy person that I am, I'm there as little as possible, admittedly. Oh yeah, I saw the 7-minute stream was set. Oh yeah, my computer was not happy. I should have done all the Windows updates and stuff. It just was not running. Which, honestly, I'm kind of surprised. It's funny how Windows will it'll restart without your permission, but if you boot the machine up from off state and it's got critical Windows updates, it doesn't just automatically install them as it should. It's Wednesday. Yeah, exactly. It is indeed Wednesday. I did lose a day. But it doesn't matter. All days are the same to me. I get up, I check the Discord, I hang out, I try to put together some streams, do the bare minimum behind the scenes work on stuff. I really need to update the website, actually. Now I'm thinking about it. I ain't done that in a hot minute. But I digress. I'm not going to worry about that right now. Instead, I'm going to put just a little bit more yellow on this charger. There's a few spots here that seemed a little weak still, and I want to bring them out before we hit it with the highlight layers. I also appear to have gotten a little bit of orange on there somehow with my careless negligence of my brush application. Alright, this was a problem spot. I wonder if that shitty coverage is coming through on the camera. Not really. Not as much as it is to my naked eyes here. I'm very weak right now. I'm going through horrible pizza withdrawals. The physiological and psychological effects will be permanent. Oh, I disagree. You just need to get some pizza. Also, you're describing my, my state. My always state. Another Nate says, we did knock down a bunch of zombies last night. Oh, yeah. If any of y'all out there want to come on over and play a little bit of Project Zomboid, make sure to swing through the Country Fried Minis Discord. Come hang out. We have a fabulous server up thanks to our awesome administrator, and we need your help to thin the population of zombies so we can reestablish society in 1993's Kentucky. It's right outside Louisville in 93, if y'all haven't played Project Zomboid. Really good game. Isometric zombie post-apocalyptic survival game. Very fun. Well, it can be really boring if you don't have like a goal or like some kind of thing that you're doing. But together as a whole, we do more than survive. We thrive. We trade. And we dance. Listen to music. Build new buildings. Eat dog food. Share presents with each other. And drive really fast cars. It's a blast. Come on over and check it out. Server information in the Country Fried Minis Discord. Ah, there we go. Just in time. Nightbot reminding folks to come on over to the Country Fried Discord, share your work, and gives the link. That link should be good for joining up. Yeah, come check it out. Nightbot is claiming that a certain type of box jellyfish's venom will make you feel a strong sense of anxiety and a sense of impending doom and possibly thoughts of suicide. These symptoms can last up to 2 weeks. Interesting. It's like some psychological effects beyond just the pain of it. I seem to remember box jellies are like the really dangerous, like high pain ones. That's why you don't swim in the seas around Australia. Unless you want to get stung by jellyfish that will have you begging for death. Alright, we just about have this yellow cleaned up, and then I can start adding in the highlight color. And if I recall correctly, the swatch that I liked the most was just pure white instead of the ivory or the brighter yellow. Let's see, I have it right here. Pick the thing up. Yeah, y'all probably, maybe y'all can see that. All right. So we have the yellow into the lemon yellow, and I didn't like this look. It's not, there's not enough contrast at this stage from that to make it work, so we're going to disregard that one. This is the yellow into the ivory, and it kind of has like it's made like a creamy color in between that I'm not digging. Something about the pigment that makes this off-white is pulling the yellow off of its like natural base. Whereas this one right here, that's the yellow into the white, seems to preserve its like its quality. And I think that's what we want to go with because it'll cool this yellow down a little bit. So we've got our orange is really, really warm. It's a really hot color and it's highlighted up into yellow. But the mix of the orange and the yellow together is making a nice warm, really warm color. Maybe a tiny bit in the cool spectrum on these tippy tips, but this yellow has like undertones of green, very greenish yellow, and I think that pulls it into like a cool territory. And if I pull the highlights down into that cool region as we progress down the mech, I think we'll have a nice, very satisfying theme overall. And that way we can do like a blue-gray type highlighting on the black here, and we'll have a very nice temperature gradient on the color from head to toe. That'll look really nice. That's what we're gonna go for. Sod9 says, I learned how to loop in Premiere. There's a button that you have to add to the bar. The next time you're in your Premiere, click plus button next to the preview, and there's a bunch of buttons you can add. Oh, nice. Thank you. I'll check it out. We're probably gonna do a workflow session tomorrow. I really need to get this urban mech done so I can move on to the next mech, next project. And heck, even at this point, I think Charger maybe kicked down the road a little bit more in favor of getting Titania out. I really want to get Titania out in time for Titania Day, which is May 22nd. But I'll also be graduating soon, so long as I don't fail any of these classes this semester. So we'll have more time for fun stuff. Anyhow, let's get back into... I think we're going to record this bit, actually. So let's make a little room for the tripod. I know I've recommended this thing before, but if any of y'all out there are interested in filming, check out Endurax. This is a really nice, sturdy little tripod off of Amazon for like, I think I paid like $28 for it. Well worth it. Absolutely well worth it. Beautiful piece of kit. And I just straddle this thing right here. I straddle my tripod and reach around it to film what I'm doing. It works really well. Got a nice little mount for the phone. Let's close that and pop open the camera. And we'll go Pro Video. Get this in position and start recording. All right, so we're going to show to the camera our deep yellow and our white. And then we're going to pull over Onilab and make sure this is good and shook up. I know we're heckin' zoomed in. Y'all can't really see what's going on, but I need y'all to see what we're doing on like a close-up and then also film this. So we got our yellow right there, and then we've got our white gonna go in. We're gonna put one drop. Pink. And then I think I'm also gonna show to the camera fluid retarder and ensure that we have that in there. So we show the fluid retarder, and we're going to put another drop just to make sure that's nice and thin, and mix her up real good. Right here. Upper. Yeah. And that's already a very nice, like, brightened color. So that's what? We had 4 drops paint, 1 drop fluid retarder, 1 drop water, and now we've added in another drop of the next color and another drop of fluid retarder. And you can see it's a really thin, super thin coat that we have here, which is what we want for these highlights. They're a touch more try-hard than my normal highlighting. Just a little bit. Just a bit. Hello, Oni labia. Oh, no, 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 no. Oni Lab has no labia. It is all just mound. Well, I guess the pink fleshy bit could be considered that, but I think that's a little too on the nosy, honestly. Okay. Here in my face. All right, so let's bust out our little lad. Make sure the focus is on it. Think y'all can see, and then we're gonna start doing some highlight work, and pick a good spot. I think we'll start work maybe right here on the arm. We're just gonna hit them edges. We're gonna trace our panels in a very expeditious fashion. It's not it's not that we're being sloppy about it, but we're gonna tighten these up with the next layer so we can really just focus on getting it on there. And just highlight all around, like almost a GW fashion. It just means lips. You totally have face labia. I have face labia. I don't think Onilab has lips though. It's all just exposed surface, is what I'm getting at. There's no distinct area of separation between the inside and outside. I don't think there's space for labia on Onilab. Although Onilabia is kind of disgusting and I love it at the same time. Gross. Makes people think gross things. And it's totally not what Onilab is about. Onilab is about shaking paint. Nothing more. There's nothing dirty going on here. Wait, isn't that a Dolly Parton thing? Nothing dirty going on here? That's the best little whorehouse in Texas. Clean that up. All right. So do a little bit of highlight work. A little bit. We're gonna go around all these edges, and then we'll add a little bit more of our white to it as we go, and concentrate those highlights closer to the tippy tips, just the tippy tips of the tips, you know. But for now, anywhere there's an edge, we're gonna put a highlight on it. And then sometimes, if there's a bit that looks like it needs a little more contrast for the shading, we'll boost it with this color too. But for now, just want to trace edges. Trace edges. And it's okay if it's a little sloppy, because we're going to go in later too with some chipping, as is tradition on these mechs. I can't not chip this thing. She's definitely going to get the full oil wash treatment and all that. Just saw a gorgeous cave salamander at my door. That's awesome. Oh, let me catch up here. She's just constantly saying, ooh, yes, that is true. Onilab is constantly saying, ooh. Ooh. Yeah. Slink says, I'm back, bishes. Welcome back, Slink. Compstar Knights dropping an Ayo in the chat. Ayo back at you, mister. Let's give Lasagna to chat. Abraham Evangelista saying that camera really provides a nice zoomed image. I wonder how much lag is introduced. Maybe, might be a viable alternative to a magnifier. You know, it's kind of hard to work with that. I think if you have a really high-speed USB port, it'll work. My machine did not have USB 4.0, so I've got I've got it plugged into a PCIe 1X card, which slows it down. What I'm going to do real quick for you is I'm actually going to zoom out the camera a bit here. Zoom it out so you can see more of the desk. And I want to show you just how much lag we're actually looking at, because it's substantial on my setup. So if I turn on desk cam, which admittedly is a little glitchy, you should be able to see the instant response of the one camera. Here, I'll do it right here. You see the delay. So it's definitely there. Definitely there. Desk cam's a little too glitchy right now. I think the cable I'm using, so desk cam runs up this arm all the way to the ceiling, and then it runs to a USB extender back down the back of the wall and down to here. Oh yeah, it wouldn't work. Oh well. Yeah, it's like a half second more. Yeah, exactly. I might print out the adder A I kit bashed. Maybe even try bashing printing a Lance of Variants. Yeah, that'd be great. And actually, as long as you're doing like transformative stuff, you know, you should maybe even consider posting those on Cults or whatever platform you prefer. I definitely recommend it. You could always, if you don't want to post the whole thing either, you could always like Boolean off the arms, the bits you use, and then provide them as conversion kits for specific other kits. Should that thing looks fun. It does really look fun. Nightbot coming in with a factoid claiming that Rednecks, the band that remixed and popularized Cotton Eye Joe, is not Southern but Swedish. They have Southern sounding stage in it. Yeah. Whoa, wobbly. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's because I keep bumping the thing. However, using your phone as a magnifier is useful in something I've done. Yeah. I also, you know, I don't know if y'all have seen this. Let me push this down a bit. So my desk lamp here is a magnifier as well. I don't ever use this thing really though, because it destroys my depth perception, which really sucks for trying to hit angles. But yeah, it's a nice tool. Nice tool, super bright LEDs. I actually need to diffuse it a bit, I think. And yes, using your phone as a magnifier is totally legit. It's actually why I kind of recommend filming with a phone, because it's a really easy source for good 4K footage these days compared to buying a DSLR. I mean, you'll get better image quality, of course, working on DSLR through like good lenses and whatnot, but the phone gets super high quality images for very, very inexpensive compared to like high-end cameras. And really, especially if you're doing something like I'm doing, like cutting it down to 1080p, it's good enough. The 4K footage lets you really zoom in on stuff too. Blow it up even more. Anyhow, let's keep rolling and keep pushing our highlights. We're not really thinking about this. We're just gonna apply anywhere there's an edge. Anywhere there's an edge. Gonna get this new creamy yellow color. We're gonna boost that highlight. We're gonna try to keep them tight. And here on the shield, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add a little more, a little bit extra, and feather it out. Especially on the upper facing edge. We'll really intensify that later. Plus, I think I'm gonna do a little freehand on that. A little Oni Lab symbol, I think. For that close-up image, your phone might be a better choice. Depth of field for days with those tiny sensors. Yeah, it's insane. I have been very pleasantly surprised at how good a decent phone camera is for this. some of the really early Country Fried Minis videos, I was filming everything on my EOS, which recorded in 1080p with nice lenses, and it was fine, but it was a pain to focus compared to the autofocus on the phone camera. So I started recording stuff with the phone for to get multiple angles of the same thing. And I was so impressed with how well it worked that I just switched over to phone all the time. I think maybe I could stand to set up another shot at some point and get the double angle on something, but it's a lot of hassle and it's just extra footage you gotta comb through. And if any of y'all out there have caught my workflow sessions, you know just how much work goes into any production anyways. It's a lot for one person to manage. I'll say that. It's funny how, like, I know there's folks out there who've been, like, really, really successful in content creation and pursue it as a career. In starting up this hobby of content creation, I have a new respect for how much work it actually is. It's a lot of work. So I guess following that thought, reminder to folks, this is a ton of work, and if you like what you see here on the channel and want to support what I do, consider joining up as a member. For as little as $1 a month, you can have access to a fun little badge next to your name, biscuit-based emojis, priority consideration for community streamed events like the upcoming return to Tabletop Tuesday, TTRPG Tuesday. Yeah, love to have you on as the newest channel biscuit. And in fact, let's go ahead and toss a few of those out there. Boom. Let's see who gets them today. Boom, one tap. It's making me enter my password again, so let's do that. That and that and that and verify. And it should be fixed now. It should make a TTS. Is it going through? Says it's been announced. Yeah, there we go.
Cameron Thurston gave Sarah Ann Login a Steak Biscuits membership. Cameron Thurston gave Tobias Fonstellian a Steak Biscuits membership. Cameron Thurston gave Dr. Cat a Steak Biscuits membership. Cameron Thurston gave Wallman a Steak Biscuits membership. Cameron Thurston gave Andrew Meyer a Steak Biscuits membership.
Oh boy. So I'm realizing now that with the amount of talking that has with the TTS, that could be potentially like a very invasive thing. I may need to revisit what it reads out. I could have it say such and such was gifted a membership, maybe without saying the gifter's name over and over and over and over. Anyhow, if that's not enough for y'all, and you really want to show support for the channel, consider joining up on Patreon. On it, admittedly, there's not a lot of content, not a lot of bonus content over there, but it does come to me at a better rate than the YouTube membership. So yeah, if you want to support the channel financially, and of course, the best support you could ever get is just to watch the content, like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff, so the algorithm pushes it to more folks. Most humble thanks to everybody who has decided to come through and check out what's going on. even if it's talking with chat while painting little minis. Aiming to stream every day as the summer approaches, so expect much more streams, and maybe some fun content here and there. I'd like to at least get back to a monthly video. I think bigger production, lots of community involvement, monthly releases would be the way. Anyhow, back at the task on hand, we're making our way round and round this model. Just adding little bits of our new yellow highlight tone. There's a few spots where we're doing like a little blendy, like shading with it, if you will. But really, for the most part, I'm kind of taking this like the Space Marine Games Workshop kind of approach, where you see an edge, so you highlight it. Zumbala. How's our poll going? Oh my god, it's just tied. I do like that nobody has voted for the CGR 1L, which actually has a large laser on it. It might actually be the correct choice there. The 1A1 is 100% the meme choice, which I guess makes it the correct choice. But as far as battlefield efficacy, I think probably the 1L is actually the right choice there. Interestingly enough. I think it could be fun to work that into a list. Like a proper Capellan lance or something like that. I don't know. Admittedly, I don't play as much Battletech as I should these days. I do more painting and more theory crafting, scenario writing, etc. Which is fine. It's kind of more what I want to do anyways, is like the creative scenario stuff. It's a little difficult to do that on pickup game days. People just want to bring their mechs and collide them together and see who wins. No storming the castle, no objective raids, no historical events, which I find that to be a lot more fun. Or oops, an all chargers lance. Yes, an oops all chargers. I did that in Mega Mech versus the AI opponent, and it was kind of glorious. They were all 1A1s as well. I made them really good at piloting, and the trick is you just charge right at your opponent, and then you start throwing blows. And the beauty is, if you arrive and you start throwing punches, as an 80 tonner, every time you land a hit, which you have 2 chances per turn, you have a 1 in 6 chance on any hit to deal an 8 damage blow to the head. It's kind of amazing. And of course a 16 damage kick as well, so if it's like a really light opponent, don't discount that kick. That -2 is really big. And of course there is also the option to well, no, I was about to say there's the option to pick up a tree as a club, but Charger can't because it only has one hand. Cannot pick up a tree. strategy I see employed more and more by a buddy of mine. Very fun to see it in action. Any mech with two hands can effectively have a one-time use hatchet. Though the hatchet hits with the normal hit chart. Keys to the tower now available. Yeah, exactly. Straight up dome. Yeah, exactly. I think the charger is a fun case study in that a joke of a mech can still be a deadly machine in the right hands. If you know how to play to the strengths of the unit you have, it doesn't really matter what you're piloting. For most scenarios. Sometimes it still will matter and there's nothing you can do. I wouldn't charge a charger lance at like a Daishi. A dire wolf to y'all filthy clanners out there. Yeah, I wouldn't pick that fight. I think it could more than handle its own with its pulse armament. But a Mad Cat? Absolutely. Get wrecked, Mad Cat will tear you apart. I'm fairly certain you could take at least 3 chargers with good pilots for the cost of a single plan piloted Timberwolf. Excuse me. Okay, I missed a little bit on the armpit here. Let's fix that up, and then I think we can move into the next yellow tone. Yeah. What's our time looking like? Am I gonna get to oil washing today? 56 minutes in? Yeah, probably not. Probably not. We'll have to do that next stream. Maybe like a Friday paint stream or something. That could be fun. I think the idea behind a lot of mechs was to work with what you get, Space Knight style. Yeah, exactly. And that's actually one of my favorite aspects of the BattleTech universe. Kind of the lore behind some of these like more ubiquitous frames or like mechs that kind of suck on paper, but they do because they're there because of grift. It's really awesome. BattleTech needs more of that Western used future vibe. Yeah, I think people, honestly, I think MechWarrior Online and like MechWarrior 5 has done people a disservice as to what the game is. There's a bit of a gonzo analog future War of the Roses type unique thing going on behind the scenes. I think people are missing out on. Honestly, what I recommend to get yourself back in that headspace when playing the game, use more Iron Wind Metals models. They're doofy and they're fun, and they help to get you in the headspace of that, like, this universe as envisioned by people in the mid-'80s. It's what the game is. Not that I'm saying there's anything wrong with the modern stuff. There's really not. It just, you know, the new designs are built on a framework of that old stuff. Okay, so I think I'm satisfied with the highlights here for the most part. Actually, I see one right here that I want to put in. Did I get that other side? No, I missed that too. Damn it, I just cleaned that brush for nothing. It's fine. If I clean it quickly, it should be fine. If I clean it again quickly, I should say. Let's whip it down here. There we go. That's looking better. Well, shit, I see some right here I missed. Put a little bit right there. There we go. Oh, I'm off frame. Sorry. Um, I don't know if the camera's picking the contrast up. It's really kind of not, which sucks, but oh well, nothing I can really do about it. I think I want to get a new cutting mat surface. I think that'll help a lot. What do they call that? Cassette Future? No, I think you touched on it. Used Future, which is also an album by The Sword. Great album. Has a Black Sabbath type vibe to it, which I dig a lot. Big recommend. Good album. All right, so we're gonna hit record again. We're gonna pull back out our white. We're gonna bring this over. We're gonna put one more drop into it. Just straight up blink. There we go. We're gonna do one more drop of fluid retarder. One more drop of the fluid retarder to thin it. Bink. There we go. Wasn't Bink a video format? Their computers are all unusually large and they still use a lot of landlines and networks built off an 80s computer philosophy. Yeah. The people who envisioned Battletech did not have the insight of what the future would actually be with microprocessors. I guess the closest to that would be like some of the advancements in the Jihad and beyond. But they had to really get into sci-fi tech to even kind of envision that, and I kind of love that. There's something to be said for that aesthetic, which kind of looks like more of a like a downgrade compared to our modern technology. I mean, just think of like the computer that's in your pocket at all times that you occasionally text your friends on. No personal devices. I also think there's an element in it too, of course, of the succession wars are a great tool because like there's hundreds of years of worlds being like sent back to at times the Stone Age even. All right, so let's continue with our highlighting here. I think I'm gonna film this bit on the arm, and we're just gonna pick out what we did before. And we're gonna try to keep the highlights a little tighter. And we wanna leave some of what we did before exposed. We just wanna boost this stuff up a little bit. Do another layer. It's a really good way to go about painting your models, I think. Anytime you apply a layer, you kind of want to think about how much of this is still going to be exposed at the end. You always want to be thinking about the layer that's going over top of it. And that has a twofold purpose. For one, you'll get the most out of the layer you're putting down, but you'll also be cognizant of how much you're putting down, and you won't run out of room for your subsequent layers. Of course, I say this, and a lot of times I'm just making it up as I go while I'm painting on the model. And I don't know if that contrast is coming through at all for y'all, but you should be able to see that it's boosted up some. It looks really nice now. And we're gonna pick out these edges, boost those, boost this one. Really bright, really sharp edge. Then we've got that section right here that we worked on before. And since we feathered this bit, we now have a nice little gradient to accentuate right here. Damn, this track rocks. Look at this ELFL's transhumanism. I like where it goes, widow whip. I've determined I am a fan of little widow whips in there. Third word is your prime space night times. Yeah, I agree. I absolutely agree. There are hints of gradient come through. Yeah, I think, unfortunately, that's because the, oh, what was it boosted? The saturation's boosted. I found that on a forum because people were talking about this particular camera having real trouble with small models, small subjects. It's funny, I know I've mentioned it before, but did a lot of research about this camera before committing to it. This is the Logitech Brio 4K. If you want a really, really good camera for your face, if you're setting up a stream, if you're talking to the camera, even if you're just recording videos, if you want something for Zoom, I recommend this camera a million times over. So very good. I have struggled with it a lot for painting minis. I mean, it could be done like what I'm doing here, but you're going to need to adapt your setup for it. And it's still not going to get the nice crisp detail. Unfortunately, nothing beats a DSLR for streaming. And that is an upgrade that will probably eventually come for CFM, but not anytime soon. We're looking at like $600 investment there. For sure, part of the problem is a tiny viewing window on the phone while chat is open. Yeah. No, that's absolutely. In fact, to kind of build upon that, so I'm watching the playback live here on this, like, I don't know, it's like a 6-inch, 7-inch monitor, little tiny monitor, and I also have it open on the phone here, and it's not until there'll be sections where it looks really bad to me, and then I'll go back and watch it on the VOD, and it looks fine. But I watch back my VODs less and less, unless there's some moment that I really want to capture and turn into a short. I just don't invest the time anymore. And it's been a long while since we've had a short-worthy moment, I think. It may be time for a return to my original style of shorts. What would be a fun short? We do a short about the paint thumb. It could be fun. I also wanted to do a series of basics, painting basics, like really basic stuff for people who have never like even considered picking up painting before. I know I've mentioned before to folks that I've got a buddy who's been getting into mini painting, and like he did not know the very basics, like the very basics, like loading and unloading a brush, layering paints, you know, shaking your rattle can before spraying models. And like it's easy to scoff at that and be like, well, how could you not know that? But like if you never encountered that you need to do that, I could see how you don't have that info. And I recall sharing with him a whole bunch of like basics, like get started here type videos for model painting, and they all assume you already have this knowledge, that you know about these little basics, the basics of the basics. And I think there could be some value for that. I think it's an underrepresented market on YouTube. Who are you calling a short? Yeah. Well, you haven't done anything ridiculous in a couple months. That's fair. I've been very I've been very lazy. I've been very checked out. That's why there's been so much video gaming on the channel. Or not on the channel, on the Discord. I think we're clearing the funk. I feel positive. There's only 5 weeks of class left as well, so more time. No more stress about papers or picking, is this the day I go into campus for my independent study? I sure hope I passed. I've actually I've run out the Pell Grant. Any of y'all out there are unfamiliar with the Pell Grant, in the U.S., there's a federal grant for students who are low income, and that has basically been, well, it's kind of been my job for the last several years. It's been going to class, and chasing a degree, living off that grant money, the occasional scholarship. It's about to dry up. So, in another push to solicit for your funds, help support the channel as we go into this summer and I start to panic about money. With your contribution, Country Fried Minis can remain a full-time endeavor. As little as $1 a month gets you fun perks. So consider giving today. After graduation is barista time. Yeah, I mean, you say that, that actually really worries me. I definitely feel like if I have to go work a full-time shitty job, I'm very concerned that Country Fried Minis as an endeavor will just die straight up. It takes a lot, or maybe the quality will reduce, or the content frequency will reduce a lot. The last video that came out had about 60 hours work in the editing. It just, you know, the idea of going and working a job and then coming home and working another job sounds like hell to me. Of course, that's just America these days. Good old US of A and that grind set mindset. Never not be working. But didn't Endeavor blow up? Exactly. Flexible hours, lol? No. And that actually really does suck too, that you're mentioning barista as work. Because the field in which I'm chasing a degree, there's not a lot of opportunity for like career advancement in it, unfortunately. Maybe work in a museum. The original intention was to go on into higher education and become a professor myself. But the amount of debt and schooling, the amount of time and the amount of money you have to invest to basically make $30,000 a year is really kind of stupid. And I didn't realize that until I was multiple years into it, and it's too late. Well, not to mention as well, I don't want to leave San Francisco. I don't want to relocate. I got a good spot here. I love the city. I mean, look, the Bay Area itself is very accessible. It's all like you can get around. But once you leave the city, You're not in the city anymore. It ain't the same. It ain't even close to the same. Alright. I think we've made it all the way around this mech. Just about. It looks good. It's looking very, very nice. He's handsome. He's a little pale. A little paler than I was thinking, but I think that contrast is even coming through a bit on the camera here. Yeah, let's think about one more layer. I think what we're going to do is we're going to take a little bit of almost pure white and put it on the sharpest edges here. It's going to look good. All right, so one more time, let's bust out our cell phone recording device. And that is, you know, the cell phone, not a device for recording cell phones. And what we're going to do now is bust out the camera one more time, hit record. We're going to show the white to the camera one more time. We're going to come in here and we're going to put a big drop kind of off to the side like that. And we're going to take a drop of water. We're going to put it to the side here as well. I'm going to I'll do my best to try to find a spot to talk about this in the video as well. We're going to pick up a little bit of that water, put it down, and then pick up some of the yellow. And we're going to work that yellow into the white here instead of the other way around. Because what I want here is a nice and thin but distinct color layer. I want a little bit more of a jump from that last one. I want it almost white. We're going to mix in just a little yellow at a time until it's a nice off-white. But it's off-white in the yellow direction instead of like a brown direction like the ivory is. A little bit more. Pick up some of that and mix it in. Yeah, I think that's what we want right there. This one should have a little bit more of a clear jump. We're kind of reflecting what we did with the yellow on our orange. Ice yellow, my dude. Oh, that's right. It is ice yellow. I forgot that was even a color. But yes. Is that a Vallejo color? Also, you probably shouldn't be eating yellow ice. Not to be confused with ice yellow, but kind of similar. Alright, so we're going to take our new tone. I'm going to readjust my hand so y'all can see it and the camera can see it. Take our new tone, and we're just going to hit the tippy tippies, the tippy tips, tippy tops, the sharpest points. That's it. No more than that. If you do, you're gonna lose some of the effect. Just want the sharpest point. Right here, we got this little square panel. We're gonna hit the corners, bink and bonk, and that's it. Don't touch it anymore. Same here on the chest. We're gonna bink and we're gonna bonk, and that's it. And then the top of this one, bink, bonk. And then maybe this edge right here, kind of to the outside, just a little streak, not much at all. Same deal on the pelvis, a bink and a bonk. I guess that's not the pelvis, this is cod piece. Same thing. All right. I think maybe a little bit on this edge right here. Just use the side of our brush and we'll do a little streak. That's it. And then where else? We want the gun arm definitely to have some. Put a little bit on the tips of these elements, but that's it. Same here on the very corners. Right there, and right there. That's it. You wouldn't think that this little tiny touch adds much, but it actually adds way more than the last layer did. And less is definitely more here. On the tippy tips, tippy tips, that's it. Maybe a little bit down here too, although I'm kind of reticent to do it. Yeah, we're gonna skip this bottom facing because I don't think it's gonna get enough sunlight. Let's put some right here. Zip, and then some right there. Same deal. And now we have that really fine line we put on earlier, and now we want an even finer line right in the middle of our fine line. There we go. And then same right here. We use the edge of our brush. We're gonna hit those corners, and then come back around to the side, right here. I'm gonna hit that edge and that edge, and we'll leave the lower one. Doesn't need it. I think we want some back here on the back. This element seems sharp enough, so we're gonna put a little dot right here, and one right here. That's it. And then same here on the butt panel. Right chair and chair. And then a little tippy on the corner, a little tippy on that corner. And then I think this panel, it kind of sticks down, wants those corners as well. I want that one and that one. And there we go. Too much of that and you're going to go into like the white territory, but like it really boosts the contrast. It brings it up further than you'd expect. Oh my god, there's so much going on. Waiting for Lighthouse Nightfall. Woo. Yeah, Lighthouse Nightfall. I'm gonna have to do some of that myself soon. I'm thinking of going in there with a thermal on a bolt action, honestly. Yellow ice sounds painful. Indeed. Don't skate yellow ice. Extra dangerous for skateboarders. Excuse me. Want to see skateboards on ice? Yes. Millennial Model Mayhem says Citrus Boy's looking fine like those lines. Yeah, it's coming along nicely. I can't wait to ruin all those edges with some sponge chipping. It's gonna be Grace. Grace? It's gonna be great. Solid ice half pipe. I mean, that's like, you're talking like a wheeled skateboard on ice. I don't know how well that would work. Probably not well at all, but that's the appeal, I'm assuming. Alright, we don't want Nuln Oil. I'm looking for this. I want my Agrex Earthshade real quick. Yes. Let's put a little bit of this shade on our banner we painted earlier. We'll take our boy. We're going to show the Agrex Earthshade to the camera. We're going to dip the back of our brush and we're going to put just a drop on the palette. It's a little more than a drop. But we also want a drop of water. Pow. We want to thin that out. Nice thinned. I guess that's about a 2-to-1. Put chains on your board. Ridiculous. No. The appeal is that it's awful and there's no friction and they just don't work properly. Alright. Let's get this lad back out. Get this lad back out. Show it to the camera. We're going to focus on this little bit right here. Camera's always trying to rationalize what we say. Yeah, of course. I need that rationality in my existence. And there's no such thing as a dumb idea. All of them are valid. Just some are more valid than others. Okay, so we're just taking a little bit of our Agrex and kind of applying it to this banner in such a way that I want it to pool here and there a little bit without spilling too far on the yellow, and I think we've achieved that. We'll go back in with a little bit more of the Ushtabi bone later once it dries. but that's all we got there. Let's, while we have our model out though, let's regard it to see if there's anywhere that could benefit from a bit of this thin wash, and I think there is. I think we could boost a little bit right here, maybe. A little bit right here. Yeah. Kind of boost the I apologize, that motorcycle just reset my brain mid-sentence. I hate them so much, man. I think we want to get some brown wash on them balls. Get them nice and dirty on both ends, front to back, all the way around. Yes. I kind of want to do another layer of the ink wash here too. Got a little too much on the yellow. Let's clean that up. There we go. Looking all right. Looking okay. I think we're ready to move forward. Let's do it. Now this is somewhere where I could really benefit from a nice gray, a dark gray in my collection, which sadly I don't have, so we're gonna have to mix one up. I'm wondering what's gonna be the closest. I got this medium sea gray. I think we could work with that and mix in a little bit of black, or mix it into a little bit of black, and that should work pretty well. But we're gonna hit the black panels. Hit the black panels now. Let's close that. Let's pull back out the zoom a little bit, I think. Pop that back up. Check the chat. Frick, I keep forgetting about the balls. LMAO. That's chat's fault. There was a mention about mech balls like months and months ago, and it's a thing. And now I have a mech with balls. Brass balls, because he's ballsy and brave. Another reminder in the chat to come on over to the Country Fried Discord and share your work if you ain't already over there. A reminder to folks who want to join up or are interested in the Discord. Not only is it a friendly place where we hang out oftentimes in voice chat after streamed events and play video games together, but it's a great place for you to share whatever you're working on. And if we're doing a workflow live stream, we'll even post them on the big screen here on stream and chat about them. I've just about got it set up to do it on that machine while I'm painting, but I didn't do it today. I've got this, I guess it's a protocol. Basically, I'm streaming here, but it's also sending it through the network to that machine so I could get it live with very low, very, very low latency. Dang, I got a bottle of medium sea gray on my desk right now. Very good color. Someone was talking about gray in the Discord recently, and they had like, it's like German camo gray or something, and I need to add that to my collection. I guess my next Vallejo purchase should probably be a pack of German World War II colors. Why not just highlight the black with metallic? Legs would be most heavily worn edges. Well, that's because I do the sponge chipping in the like oxidized steel and then hit it with the metallic. In this case, the reason I don't want to do metallic on the black is because it would detract from this metallic. So there are spots that are pure metallic that need to stay that way. In fact, we can highlight those too. And actually, while I'm at it here, I want to deepen the brown around the banner here. So let's do that with a little bit more of this color, and we'll deepen the shade on the balls while we're at it as well. All right. Okie doke. So, do I have a black ready to go? Thought I did. We're refractive green, green gray. I don't see it. You tell me I don't have another bottle of black? There we go. There we go. It is covered in dust from all the priming I do here in the corner. How about that? We all like mechs and Warhammer stuff. We don't judge you on the Warhammer stuff, lol. Let's see. Do I have any Warhammer stuff handy? Yeah. So one of the projects I have in mind soon, I say soon, definitely not soon, but in the future at some point, I bought the Rogue Trader book, and I have a box. They're up there somewhere. I have a box of original 1987 Space Marines, but I also picked up this fabulous little blister at a flea market. Got some Death Eagle Marines. These guys are absolutely fabulous. So they will get painted at some point. I mean, I could keep this in the package for nostalgia, right? But like, it'd be way better to open this up and paint it and make a video about it. I think, at least. And of course, we still have our little Leatherhide man. That'll be coming up soon. Just more painting. I gotta get into more painting, y'all. Maybe actually do some of this painting I hold the polls about. Hell yeah, metal chunkers, yes. I hate everything about James Blorp Shop. That's Mr. James, Jaymes Workeshoppe. Nice, old school. Yeah, keep it old school. Honestly, you can leave that that old aesthetic or the new aesthetic of GW. I'm all about the old stuff. There's some charm to the old hand sculpted stuff that is kind of lost in the modern interpretation of grimdark. It's so edgy. Fuck that, dude. Give me bright colors and silliness. And gratuitous violence, of course, but silliness. I want that silly. It's the most important part. And I think people forget that, like, you don't need to be so fucking serious. You can take it serious while being silly. Take your silliness seriously, and then you'll have a really good time. Alright. Anyways. Actually, live your life how you want. Don't let me tell you how to do nothing. This is your project, damn it. Alright, so we're going to show our black and gray to the camera. We're going to pull out Onilab, and we're going to jam them both in at the same time. Ooh, yes. Yes. Ooh, yeah. Very nice. I'm getting lost. Alright. So let's do about, let's see. I think we want about an 8-to-1 here. So let's do maybe 10-to-1. Yeah, I think we want about a 10-to-1 because this medium sea gray is going to really overpower it really quick. So 10 drops. We'll bust this out. We're going to do 1 drop. That's it. That's it. That's it. In fact, it's overflowing. They're definitely less edgy now. So many smooth rounded panels. Yeah, they're also all monopose and do not allow for any customization or any deviation from the approved standard of the modern models, and only the modern models, and only what is out on the shelf right now. In fact, if you don't have the proper bases on it, you need to get out of my shop right now, because you're not allowed to compete in this competition, in this, you know, fuck GW. They don't care about their customer base. They see you as a bunch of rubes that will buy whatever they put out, and if you don't buy it, oh, it's because you're too poor and they don't want you as a fucking client anyways. It's absolutely atrocious. I remember when GW used to care about their clients, their customer base. I attended the Games Day in Atlanta in both 2003 and 2004. I think so. I think it was 03 and 04. And they were great. They were doing fun things. They had fun events. None of this, like, buy the new shit. The Orc Codex had instructions on how to customize and convert your own models. Now they completely discourage you from doing any of that. I call the silly series the Wahoo aesthetic. It's definitely my default. It's my default PTRPG vibe. Yeah. Dude, I mean, there's a place for super serious, but like, maybe as a meme. Like that's a character. You wanna see my take on super serious? Challenge me on some rules when I'm DMing sometime. Watch what happens to your precious rules. Bars, cereal bars. All right. Oh shit! I just added more water to that. It needs to be mixed in. Okay. Now, see, this is a nice charcoaly color. I knew it was going to be about that way. The sea gray will overpower that black really quickly. So we got a 10 to 1. 10 to 1. Right? $10 to 1 ratio. Y'all can't even see that. I painted 10 to 1 on it. That's silly, right? You might have gotten the perfect gray by mixing a drop of your rinse water instead of that powerful fresh paint. No, I can't. The rinse water has solvents on it. I still haven't cleaned it out, unfortunately. And I think for this application, we're going to step down our brush from the Vallejo 1 to this 20 liner. I want a nice, sharp, clean edge. Holy shit. God damn it. Nothing like dropping your model in the paint. Ironically, it went to a location that's fine. Holy moly. It'd be that titanium white pigment stuff is insane. Yeah, exactly. It's also a huge molecule that makes all your paint super chalky. All right, I've recovered the problem. Let's get a good angle where you can see and the camera here can see. And we're gonna take our fresh new gray. And we're just gonna trace our edges. We'll trace our edges really roughly and quickly because it's actually really close to the same tone. And in fact, I think we're just gonna paint the entirety of these side panels that are really thin. I'm just gonna paint them in that color. We want to think about what's going to happen to the highlights, so we want this new color to kind of spill outwards. Hope y'all can still see. Just hitting these things real hard with this new color. It's funny, this actually almost seems darker than the previous tone that we put the ink wash on. It may actually be darker. You gotta be kidding me. The damn Agrax Earthshade wash made black brighter than the gray we're putting on it right now. That's silly. Whatever. We'll make it work. Any problematic spots will be covered over by later highlights, and then the chipping and the weathering and the dust, all that good fun stuff. But basically what we're doing, we're just hitting this with real thick, chunky edge highlights really spilling them over. They look a little sloppy, and that's fine. We're going to tighten them up with some layers here in just a moment. Good recovery. Yes. Yes, indeed. Just be ready to fix your mistakes with rapidity. Yeah, these real thin panels here, we're just going to paint them in their entirety. But more or less, we're hitting these edges with a band of color that's more or less the width of the brush in its entirety here. And then we'll clean it up here in a moment. Still in frame? Yeah. Yeah. This is more of a foundational layer for our highlights than anything. We can step it up a little further on the next one, I believe. Well, we'll do one drop and see what it does. I think it's probably the smarter call here. Some scent stuff coming up. Them grace notes there. Sounds like a marketing slogan for the future post-Ilcan GDL, the new warmer gray. Yeah. Although, as far as I'm concerned, the jihad happens and the Blakist win and the universe ends, and they reset it all to the Stone Age with the thermonuclear holocaust everywhere. If anything, that's the event that puts mankind into the Age of Darkness, and then you have the timeline of Warhammer 40,000. I definitely don't like a storyline in which the clans win. Fuck the clans, dude. Although, you know, I say that as far as like a gameplay balancing act, it's a really smart move to just reset the rules to where everybody's using clan tech. It balances the world. Unfortunately, once you add power creep into the universe, you gotta introduce an occasional rebalancing. And if you're playing in a meta that has weapons that are just better because they deal more damage, they have higher range, they produce less heat, there's no reason to not use those. And that's what the Clan Invasion did. Alright, so we're making some progress. Some progress. A bit here, a little bit there. These can be really sloppy. This is fine. Well, sloppy's not the right word. They can be really fat. The lines can be exceptional because they need to peek out of the next layer anyways. A little bit here, a little bit there. There, a little bit here. Work down the back. I think we may need a little extra water in this too. I'll add a drop with the next color. Another tip here, because these are the legs, the layers do not have to be as crisp and clean And honestly, we don't have to push them as far. I know I've mentioned again and again, the focal point of your mech is right here. This is where you want people looking. And this is where you're going to concentrate your... Oh my Jesus Christ. Y'all see what I see? Right there. Let's see if I can clean that off. Oh, God. Fuck. Come on, come on. That's egregious. It's really, really bad. See if we can gently push it off with a toothpick. Not without destroying the yellow. It's really, really bad. I still think it is more susceptible to water than the yellow is, so let's just scrub at it. Just scrub at it real good for a little while. We can touch on how to clean up a problem like this. Yep, there we go. We just broke loose. The yellow's had a little more time to cure, so it's going to be harder to break through into the yellow. We just want to take our nice big fat soft brush and jab at this shit. We might lose a little bit of the highlight tone, but I think it's going. It's going. It's just about there. Just about. Come on, mister. Just get you going. I know I'm interrupting my thought process in the highlighting here, but that's I need that off there. That's really bad. Okay, do I have a sharper little brush here? Let's try this wedge brush here. Let's see if we can't get rid of you right there. A bit of water. Nice gentle little eraser action. We killed some yellow paint there. That's fine, we'll fix that. It's like after all the cleaners give up being awful and all the mechs are banned in war is obsolete, more of a bubblegum universe where it's all about social engineering in weird fashion. Yeah, but that's anathema to the clan's way of existence. They're no longer claners if they're thinking that way. These are people genetically engineered to do nothing but war. I mean, even their technological advancements are all in the name of war. When they don't have a war, they make a war with each other. They're just Space USA. I mean, good on Catalyst for recognizing what the vast majority of people want in the universe, in BattleTech. Like, people want the best stuff. They don't want the janky stuff. Unless it's Urban Mech. For some reason, people love that piece of garbage. Alright, let's try and clean up where we killed the paint. Just gonna grab a little bit of straight undiluted yellow, and we're gonna do little tiny little stipples of the color here. Try to recover those little holes we made. A bit here, a bit there, a little bit there. And then when that cures, we can go back in with our highlight tone there. and fix it up some. And in fact, we have a little bit of the shade got removed, so we're gonna pack in just a tiny bit of ink wash back into it right here. There we go. All right, back to the task at hand, which was packing in black, which needs a drop of water now. Well, I said post. The clans are just corporations at that point. Oh, post ill clan. I missed that. Yes. Well, you can thank Seafox for that. The fact that the clanners are even thinking in currency is crazy. I guess that's what happens though when you absorb society into your empire. So it eventually becomes your society, unless you crush and suppress them in entirety. All right, where were we working? We hit the back. Yeah, we were working around the back. And I spun the model around and I saw a really egregious spot of color. The inside of this leg here. Looks like I may have already hit that one. I'm not sure though. We'll do it again to be sure. Honestly, when putting highlights on black, it's so easy to go from the line of I can't see an appreciable increase in the color to this is gray now. And I'm trying to avoid that this is gray now moment here. A lot of edges to highlight up though. We shall see. Put a little bit right here on my hand. A little bit right here. Actually, we'll just do the whole back of the hand in that new tone. And the fingies. There we go. It's looking all right. That's looking all right. That's highlighted. Those are highlighted. That's highlighted. This is highlighted. And now we want underneath here. Put a little bit on the thumb right here and the fingers right here. I think that'll do for that tone. Make sure this gets a little bit of the new color on it. All right. And now we're going to add a little bit more gray into that and see how it goes. Mr. Casey Freak says, give me the jank all day. Heck yes, I'm all about the jank. I want it janky as can be. Also, welcome to the Country Pride mini stream, where we occasionally get some stuff done. Saw9 says, 1 raid, 20 potential spawns, got it on spawn 6, keys of the coward done. Tomorrow I get my title handheld, my little handheld radio beacon. Nice. Excellent, excellent progress. Can't wait to see what your stream tomorrow holds in store. That's a reminder to folks, if you're a fan of Escape from Tarkov, fun little game, Sod9 here is going through 365 days of streaming. Check it out, same time every day over on Sod9's channel. I think this is gray now. It used to be real black, but now I'm not sure. Yeah, it's already in the gray territory. Now, what I find really interesting is that brown tone I put on it, kind of the ink wash already has boosted it brighter than I'd like to go with it. But it's fine. It's fine. We may hit it with a black wash later. I'm definitely going to hit it with a with an oil wash towards the end. So once again, we're going to show our C gray to the camera. We're going to pull in this here. Nightbot claiming that non-violent attempts to escape Mexican prison are not punished because it's human nature to want freedom. All right, single drop, and make sure to hit the camera to screw up the shot. We're going to add another drop of water into this because I want it nice and thin. Let's get back out our big puffy brush. We're going to work some gray into this mixture. Now sometimes I like to keep a little bit of the previous tone intact in my puddle, but in the case of this gray, the sea gray overpowers it so quickly that we're just going to mix all of it together. Get it in there nice and good. All right. Wash that brush. Rinse that brush. Damn, I really need to clean out that dunk pot. Sing it. It's I Think I'm Alone Now. I think this is gray now. It used to be real black, but now I'm not sure. Yes. Sounds like bullshit. That fact is definitely not true. I don't know what you're talking about. I've already lost the point on that discussion. Between the stream delay and like looking up here and trying to follow my own thought process, it's rough. It's real rough, y'all. All right. So we're going to get our next color here. And we are going to try to highlight this stuff again, but we're going to keep it really sharp this time. And I think again, like, it's maddening. The color is like, there's not an appreciable difference in the tone. I can't tell a difference between those two colors at all. I can see a big difference in this color, but I cannot see any difference on the model. It's almost like it's getting darker. It's insane. The Nightbot fact. What was the Nightbot? Oh yeah. The Nightbot fact. Yeah, of course. Let's do. So shaking that paint up with Onilab has caused pressure to build up in it. And every time I go to work with this paint, it's already drizzling out the tip when we go to start. The Nightbot. Nightbot's an asshole. She had to have her privileges revoked from... How long ago was that stream where it just like deleted every message from a few people? She got sick of chat shit. Glad I didn't give it permission to ban people, because she probably would have banned people. Alright. We put another drop in this because I could not tell a difference. And now this is... Bet you now this is too bright. And I can't tell a difference. Once again, it's like not an appreciable change. No, there we go. But it is definitely like, this is no longer black, this is gray. With a single drop. So I think we need to be really sparing with the application of it to preserve the black. Is that even in frame? Also, another issue I experience a lot with these fine brushes is by the time you put this small amount of paint to the model, it is already dry on the tip. So things keep touching my wrist while I'm painting, and it is annoying me. All right. I'm suddenly getting very annoyed by things. It's hot. Like, how is that not an appreciable change in tone? Like, I don't understand. It's like very clearly several shades up, but like I can't see it on the model at all. It is annoying me. Don't forget, the hardest two colors to paint are black and white. By far, bar none. Nothing even comes close. Punch it up more. Yeah, I'm worried if I punch it up more, it's just going to be super, super gray. I did that with my big Marauder. It's supposed to be black and the whole thing is gray because I mixed too much gray in it. But I think, yeah, I can see it. I can see the gray. Once it cures, it's drying. It's drying on the wet palette. That's part of the problem. That should tell you how fucking hot it is in San Francisco all the time these days. I also live like 11 blocks from the water, and it's like, it's so dry that it's... What fell off now? What the fuck was that? Yeah, this is all dry. It is dried on my wet palette. Why does this keep happening? Do I just need to drown it in water? Doing my Tukiyid Comstar Force right now, I'm hating white. I completely gave up on painting white, and now I just use Apothecary White contrast paint. You spray them white, you hit them with the Apothecary White, and then you chip them, and they're done. And it looks great, and you don't have to worry about trying to build up white with it being super chalky. Okay. All right. This is starting to look like a edge highlight now that I've completely saturated my now dry wet palette. I mean, y'all saw me put water in it at the start of the stream just 2 hours ago. Tell you, I'm about sick of the heat. Now, I've lived in San Francisco since 2009, and when I first moved here, it was the proper temperature. It was San Francisco temperature. It's supposed to be like 55 degrees, basically year-round. And you get used to that climate. And now it's substantially warmer, between like 65 and 80 outside. And the thing is, none of the buildings here, we don't have air conditioning. It's not a thing. So it's just like, because it's been perfect room temperature outside for the last 200 years. And now it's not. Now it's hot all the time. It's hot. You need a humidifier, dude. I need Brave and Chip. I'm always afraid I'm gonna ruin it. Hey, it's that guy with the Harley out there. I wonder if y'all can hear that. He drives a Harley with a stereo system that's louder than his Harley. I don't understand how that's legal. I hate that guy. I hate this man. I hate him with every fiber of my being. I'm sure y'all can't hear it, or maybe didn't hear it at all, but like, I can still hear the lyrics of the music he's listening to, and he's more than a block away. And just like that, all the annoyance and like horrible energy I was just feeling is gone. It's almost like my subconscious mind picked up that that man was coming, and it just like was putting me on edge. Addressing Mr. Casey Freak, I need to be brave and chip. I'm always afraid I'm going to ruin it. The thing about chipping is once you get the technique down, and really have a handle on the less is more and know when to stop, it adds so much to the model. And it also, it does a lot of work in covering your crimes. It means you can be a little less precise with your highlights, and you can skip some layers here and there because you know it's going to get covered anyways. It's just all around a great thing. And unless you're going for like super pristine factory fresh models, I think it adds so much depth and visual interest to your models. It's always worth doing, especially if you figure out like a recipe that really works for you. Mine, as always, is Vallejo black, brown, and whole red. They work really well together. It's like kind of like an oxidized steel type color. Alright, so highlights are coming along. They don't have to be super nice. What the? My phone is just blowing up. Let's see. It is. Respond to that. Is this a humidifier? All right, let's do a little show and tell stuff, as I like to do in the streams. First off, regarding the message earlier about the salamander outside his door, Sod9 sends this image. Very cool stuff. I know this isn't as good as the on-screen big share. I'm just not in a position to do it right meow. And I have a message from a post, I should say, over on the, where's it at? I just synced it on the minis on parade. Also, welcome to the Discord, KZ. Looking at some Comstar mechs, painting while watching on stream. They're looking really, really clean. I like this kind of off-white gray type color you've got for your Comstar, and it looks like you've done a pretty damn fine job of avoiding that chalky feeling to them. Oh, I see. You've got like a base tone and then a wash, and then you rebuild up the base tone. If I'm seeing that correctly. They're gonna look fine. Fine set of machines. I do love those box sets. Excellent share. I will try the chipping. Yeah, if you are interested in looking at the chipping techniques, if you check out the Tukia Day video from last year, that has Comstar and talks about the chipping. Posted progress on Discord, yeah. Thanks, I'll try it with these mechs. Always end up painting pristine, but it's Battletech, so nothing should be. I think, especially with white mechs, it really adds a whole lot to it. Tobias is morning. Well, good morning, Mr. Tobias, and welcome to the stream. We're making a little progress today. We got the yellow highlighted, and we're working on the black highlights, and I think we may have actually hydrated the palette enough that this paint is still usable. We're slowly working around the back here. It is coming along. I think what we'll do is one more layer of highlights for this here. One more layer of highlights for the gray, which we're not too worried about this being like super crisp, super detailed, because it's not the focal point of the model. You really want to concentrate your effort on the face, the shoulders, maybe a little bit on the main guns, but honestly, just right in here, right in the center. Most of the time when regarding a mech, that's where your eyes are going to lie. And I mean, that's true for any model. The focal point is the face and the chest and the shoulders. So, I'm not saying be lazy and skip painting it well everywhere else, but I am saying you can cut back a bit on the amount of work you do on areas that are not the focal point without losing too much impact. I think you'd be surprised. Just, next time you're looking at someone's paint job, try to be cognizant of that fact and pay attention to where your eyes are falling when regarding the model. I'm not saying make an effort to look at the other parts. Just try to have that in your mind when viewing some models, and I think you'd be surprised to see how true it is that your eyes fall upon the focal areas. Alright, so we're going around these edges, the panels here. We're edging our lad. I think, despite my thoughts on it, this is starting to look like highlighted black instead of gray. I was a little worried about it for a moment there, honestly, but we're there. And the legs are definitely going to get more grime on them. Whenever I do my oil washes, I tend to remove more on the focal areas and leave more on the lower extremities. Ooh, love this track. It's a good one. Low Five's great too. Some really good ones. Low Five, Lovren, Ava Lowe, Lupus Nocti, Ben Elson, ELFL, all great music. Some really good selections out there on Epidemic Sound. I've been hearing a lot of other YouTubers use them too. A humidifier will also help to knock the heat down a few degrees as well. Evaporating water takes a ton of energy. Yeah, I don't understand why it's I know it's like a full 10 degrees cooler outside. It just, the buildings are built to hold heat because it's cold. You know, for the last million years. I don't know how long it's actually been the climate here, but like, you know, that saying, the coldest winter I ever experienced was summer in San Francisco. That used to be really true. And like, I've been walking up to move my car at night in shorts. Which is crazy. SF used to be like, you bundle up multiple layers. And I mean, I know that there are those of y'all out there who live with like real weather, and I'm just being a baby. It's continually surprising. And then of course, once you leave the city, when you go like East Bay, the weather's definitely like hotter, warmer. SF is just like kind of slowly becoming like everywhere else in the region, instead of like its own unique set of microclimates anymore. And it's sad. It's sad to see that change happen. But hey, you know, that's the price we pay for progress and technological superiority over nature. Alright, that's looking good there. I don't know if that's probably... Oh, that's wild. Okay, so what y'all are seeing there on the camera is much brighter than what I'm seeing. Like, much brighter. That's wild. You can't really see the contrast that I've got on the orange, but this is not that gray. Not near as what the camera is showing. Funny. I'd say about half of that. Half of what I'm seeing on the screen there. Yeah, I spent a week in Petaluma in July, and the nights were downright chilly in 14. Yeah, that sounds about right. I remember at some point there was a serious shift to things getting warmer and warmer and warmer. I remember one particular summer night, we had a crazy heat wave, and it was 103 outside in downtown San Francisco. And like, I had 2 box fans going, and the worst part was, at the time, I was still growing weed, and I had a tent with a 600 watt grow light in my little studio apartment. Of course, it was running like I use a duct booster to ventilate the plants, but man, it was hot. And they really suffered for it. The yield was really bad that season. Of course, I don't do none of that no more. There was a point a few years back, several years ago now, that I don't know what shifted, but I went from being like a daily pot smoker to the stuff giving me like crippling panic attacks. So I have transitioned in my life to basically straight edge. I think people consider caffeine to not be straight edge because it is a mind-altering substance, but yeah, that's all I use anymore. Caffeine. I do love my coffee. I'm drinking coffee right now. Cheers to the coffee drinkers out there. Time is it? I can't see. 8:18. Okay, we're making progress. 8 o'clock at night, still drinking coffee. Something wrong with that, boy. Let's clean that out. See if we can do one more layer on this lead before the paint dries out. Yeah, that's wild. It's wild how bright what the webcam is seeing. It's not even remotely close to that. Your IRL. That's funny. All my belly aching and y'all are seeing just a totally different picture. I'm gonna try to be a little sparing with this, because this is about the territory where it could really toss it into gray instead of black. So like, I'm not gonna hit all of the edges. I'm gonna intentionally leave gaps every now and then too in the tone. We want it to remain black. Use the edge of the brush here, the side of the brush, to hit those edges. And then right here on the front, what we'll do is we'll focus this more on the corners. So like right here. That was sloppy. So we suck the paint off and then wipe it away with our newly clean brush. If I want to feel funny, I just stay awake past my bedtime. I start hallucinating at 30 hours. It's true. That's about right. So I once drove from San Francisco to my hometown, Tullahoma, Tennessee, in a single go, without stopping. Without stopping beyond fueling up and taking bathroom breaks. It's like 30 hours. It's like I think it's actually 33 hours, something like that. 2,700 miles. And by the time I was going down Highway 55 in Tennessee, approaching my parents' house, I was starting to hallucinate. The trees on the side of the highway looked like big cartoon dogs, kind of like looming up at me as I drove by. It was nuts. Do not recommend. Was criminally negligent on my part to drive in that state, but I made it and I've done it, and it was a life experience. Alright, so we're just going to continue. Same trend. We're hitting not all the edges, but more the upper and upwards facing portions. And that's enough recording. I drove that tired in Tullahoma one time. I was legit pulling over every 10 minutes, not fall asleep. Went to my folks and crashed for like 12 hours in the spare bedroom. It was after our trip to Florida, actually. Yeah, it makes sense. Checks out. Shit's dangerous. Now whenever I drive, I kind of do the same thing, to a lesser degree. I just drive until I'm tired, and then I go to the nearest rest stop and I park the car, and I either lay down the front seat, and kick back, or I scrunch up in the back seat and just sleep and try to get like 6 to 8 hours, and then just whenever I wake up, I get back on the road again, and I'll drive until I'm tired, and then I'll stop and sleep, and it works. It's a really good way to do it. Now, I've heard that rest stops can actually be kind of dangerous, but I, for the most part, feel pretty safe because I'm a pretty large male. Not like the same dangers that a small lady traveling alone would face. I also keep an aluminum t-ball bat in my car as well. for self-protection. Little tiny stubby thing, but aluminum bat nonetheless. Yeah, look how crazy bright these edge highlights look for y'all. It is not near that. Not at all. Not even close. I'm wrong, it was after Evo, yeah. Never had any trouble with a rest stop. Yeah, exactly. Is that largely a myth that rest stops can be dangerous? Is that propaganda put out by the hotel industry to get you to spend exorbitant prices at every little interstate town you drive by in the night? Big hotel wants you to think there's muggers at every rest stop. All right, we're coming along. Coming along. A little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit back here. Rocher. Okay. This is starting to look really cool. I was a little concerned with those layers before that were not really like picking up, but of course y'all are seeing a really exaggerated version. Pretty sure that's just an urban legend. Yeah, checks out. Also, I should update that somehow the temperature has dropped like 15 degrees in the last, how long ago was I bitching about temperature? 20 minutes? 15 minutes? It's wild. Must be like a pressure system moving in off the coast or something. We do get the Arctic jet stream coming down the coast here. And I did mention I'm about 11 blocks from the water. Although that's bayside and not oceanside. I think the wind picked up is what happened. I felt it. I feel the temperature on my calves all of a sudden. Hell, there are usually state troopers permanently installed at each rest stop. I didn't know that. I don't know if I've ever encountered that actually. Then again, it's not like I interact with people. I would just stop at the rest stops and sleep. Usually I hop up and hit the vending machines, get like some chippies and something to drink, kick back, watch a YouTube video, get a little bit of shut-eye. Okay. I think we made it all the way around the legs. They look really highlighted up for y'all's view. But if you could imagine the gray to black there is about half that intensity. They're not near that. Something with the boosted saturation or sharpness, I mean. Saturation should be normal. Okay. Next up, we're going to do this hand right here. It's looking pretty decent. Pretty dang decent. Oh shit, I have metallic. I had metallic on that thumb. Just gonna paint the whole thing gray. Interesting. Get a darker color on the front of that there. Well, that's nuts. Alright, what can we do here next? I think what we should do is, since we're on the topic of doing layers and highlighting, we should maybe think about highlighting up the metallics. Let's do that. All right, hands getting shaky, eyes getting tired, calling it a night. Have a good one all. Great paint jobs as always on that charger. Well, thank you so much for stopping by, Mr. Casey Freak, and choosing to spend some time with us this evening here on Country Fried Minis here in the Bullshit Corner 2.0. And thanks so much for stopping by on the Discord. Can't wait to see what you come up with. Please feel free to share. Millennium Mall Mayhem says, all right, got to go now. Good luck with the rest of the stream. Thanks for stopping by, as always. And those of y'all out there who aren't aware, make sure to go check out Millennium Model Mayhem right here on YouTube for some really fantastic Gunpla and Conquest content. Really good stuff. Definitely recommend. Mucho approved. Country Fried Minis approved. Very good stuff. Dang, we live in at the same time. Haha, yes. It's about the right time. 8:31. It's about just about the wind down point for me as well. I think we're gonna try to highlight. We're gonna highlight up these metallics. I think that's our next step for calling it a night. And then from there, I've just got what is left on this lad. We've got a base to do. We've got a base to turn into something fun. We've got the laser ports. Need to figure out a way to distinguish between the pulse and the regular small lasers. I think maybe like a subtle difference between the highlight color or something might do the trick. And then we got some freehanding. I want to put an Onilab symbol somewhere, and I might try to freehand a small interpretation of the Country Fried Minis logo somewhere. And then, of course, the cockpit jeweling, which we'll do probably in blue. That makes the most sense to me for contrast purposes. But for now, let's think about doing a little bit of duraluminum highlights and trying to keep them nice and sharp. So let's film that. And we should be able to do that in about the next 15 and then wrap up, call it a night, and go hang out on some CFM Discord. So let's show this to the camera. We give it a good shake-a-reno. Make sure it's good and shook up. Blunk. That's all we need. Little tiny dot. We'll show again to the camera. We're using the 20 liner. And then take our duraluminum and just hit very specific edges for metallics, because we need to keep these. We need to keep this really sharp And then I think we'll even do like the tops right here. Do the same here. We'll do around the top and then around the bottom lip. And then we'll do the same right here. You know what, let's zoom this in now that I'm thinking about it. Close that, pop this, tighten that shot up. So y'all can at least half-ass see what's going on here. And now, I mentioned that these airbrush colors need to be really shook. It's already separating out on my palette. I just had to stir it in that short bit of time. We're gonna hit the tops of these lasers, just the tops. I think we're maybe gonna leave these ones alone. See if I can't thread the needle there a little bit. Yeah, no, we're gonna leave those ones alone. I'm not even gonna risk fucking that up. They look metallic, that's good enough. Now these ones, I think the light we're gonna see is actually towards the bottom here. So we'll do that, we'll highlight the bottom end. And do the same right here. Highlight just the very bottom of it. Okay. Our little gun, we wanna think about where the light's hitting it, so we'll hit the tops of these sharp edges. Just a little bit of brighter color on them. The littlest bit. Because a sloppy brush here could really take away more than it adds. Like that right there. And then clean up that crevice that I just screwed up. There we go. Looking nice. A little bit right here, just a bit, and then some right there. And then we'll maybe think about putting a little bit on these joints. That one probably doesn't get any. But let's look at these bits on the knee. Subscribe Millennial, I have to check out your content soon. Heck yeah, dude. Found a real good traditional artist a town over from me. Oh, fuck yeah, dude. Traditional artist is going to be a really good go-to for that black work that you want, or even as the blue. Okay, so we're going to hit, for some context, y'all, Sod9 and I were talking a bit about tattoo work. He was pondering a tattoo, and I kind of thinking a new tattoo soon myself. Though they are expansive. And honestly, I've got some really bad work that needs to be fixed up first anyways. Okay, so as far as the painting goes, I don't know if y'all can see, I'm just trying to bring out edges of the metallics that we've hit before. The sharpest edges, and that's it. Honestly, this doesn't need much touch up, really. The metallic paint plus gnome oil is really magic on its own. We'll bring out this a little bit, and then these things on the back. There used to be one directly until home of my aunt moved to Paducah in 2012. Aunt. What shop was that? make sure this is nice and highlighted too. All right. Pretty happy with our boy at the moment. Let's see, 8:38. I could do a little bit more work before we wrap it up. So I think what we're gonna do, we're gonna do one last color. We're gonna show the camera our Ushtabi bone. You see? Ushtabi bone. Ushtabi. Not Ushafti. This song goes, but wait a whip. It is. But wait a whip. Oh wow, I can see the highlights on the orange now that I'm switched to the big screen. They're kind of subtle on this camera, honestly. But anyhow, we've got out our Shabti bone. But wait a whip. Excuse me. Nothing like coffee burps at 9 o'clock at night. Alright. We're going to mix in a little bit of water into our Ushtabi bone. And then I'm going to clean this thing up. Just going to clean up those edges. Clean it up a little bit. Clean it up some. But wait a minute. Basically, we want the sides of the ribbon itself right here, where it folds over, to be solid Ushtabi bone. And we're going to get back out our white. Get back out our white. Let's put a little bit on the palette. And we're going to put this where y'all can see. We'll take this and we'll dip a touch in that, and then we'll grab our Ushtabi bone. Just go back and forth so we have a nice little highlighty tone. Nice little highlighted tone. There we go. Alright. We're going to revisit our boy. Revisit our boy right here. And we're going to boost what we just did. We'll boost it right here as well. Now I made these blends a little too fat, so I'm going to lick the paint off the brush so I have a nice clean brush, and I'm going to feather the edges. Yes. Alright, now we're going to take a little bit more white, even more, and we're going to boost it a little further. Just a little bit further, just a tiny bit. Alright, and then this is a highlight tone that's just going to go right there, right there. Boom. And that thing's ready for some kind of text or something. Looking good. I think she's coming along. Or I guess it's a he, because it has balls. But I don't think there's much I can do inside of 15 minutes without rushing a step. Yeah, maybe we can pick out these rivets. Let's do that real quick. So we'll take our silver here and then just give them a little tap. Tiny little tap. Little tap will do. Little tap will do on each one. Zip. And bam. Now the problem with this is just like that, because this paint is so thin, you can very easily put too much down and have to clean it up, which I've done. I shouldn't have attempted this. I maybe should have switched to a thicker silver paint, actually. I think that's what we'll have to do. Alright, so now I've created a problem for myself that's going to require some cleanup, which I'll need to do off stream. That needs to completely cure, and then I can go back in and layer some ink wash over top of it and bring it back out. But it's, you know, he's coming along. He's coming along. He's looking pretty good. I'm pretty good. Ladies can have balls too. Just ask Thailand. Yes. Yes, indeed. So, yeah. Let's adjourn for the evening. I want to thank y'all all for stopping by and hanging out and choosing to spend your evening with me here on Country Fried Minis here at the Bullshit Corner 2.0. A reminder to everybody that I am pursuing this as if it were my career and in an attempt to make it my career. So if you like what you see here and want to support the channel and what we do, consider joining up as a channel member. For as little as $1 a month, you can have a fun little badge next to your name, access to biscuit-based emojis, as well as priority consideration for community streamed events coming forward. We'll be doing eventually a community stream tabletop RPG, TTRPG Tuesday. We'll be playing some Dungeon Crawl classics in Tabletop Simulator. Should be a real fun time. Can't wait to see how it comes along. Best thing you can do to support the channel, of course, is to like and comment and subscribe. All them fun algorithmic things here on YouTube. Just watching the content is really what drives it forward. A final reminder to folks, if you really want to get involved with the community and share what you got going on, make sure to check out the Country Fried Minis Discord, link in the description down below, as well as in the chat at various times, especially if you're catching this via the algorithm. Stop back through, same time, same place. Keep an eye out for some more paint streams. We also have the workflow streams coming up where we'll be doing some editing on some videos. Let's check back in with the poll for the evening before I close it. We got 16 votes for which stock charger variant is best. We've got 6% for the CGR-1L, that's the Capellan Special with a large laser. We've got 25% for the CGR-1A9, which has jump jets and an LRM-20. We have 25% for the CGR-1A5, which has some SRMs and an AC-20 big boy. And then 44% coming in with the winner for the classic CGR-1A1 Fast Boy with lasers, small lasers. It is the best. It is the meme. It is the one that started it all. So I can tell y'all love the charger. Anyhow, that's all I got for y'all. Check it out for some more stuff in the future. Thank y'all for stopping by. I want you, as always, to remember to be happy while you're painting. And of course, to remember that your participation in these here events makes me happy while I'm painting. Thank y'all so much for choosing to spend this portion of your evening tonight. And take it easy. I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.